The UK is among a number of countries that have had a recent history in curbing people's ability to speak. And the reason is that that regime, that ideological group that has taken over the regime, the globalists, the power structure, and their minions, their far left minions, the reason why they want to ban people from speaking is because they cannot take the criticism. They, at the very minimum, don't have the confidence, or as we all know, they don't have the ability to win an argument because the regime is really built on a house of cards. If it was freedom of speech, if we had a competition of ideas, they just wouldn't hold up. And we're seeing this right now. So there was a proposal in a borough in Hampshire, England. It is Rushmore Borough in Hampshire, England, where they want to ban people like street preachers. And this is a Christian organization called the Christian Concerned Christians, I think. I forgot their name. It's in the article. And of course, they raised the alarm. Obviously, this law is targeted against them. Now, the solution is always reason and rationality. However, I want to point out that just like anything else, this is an attack on people's free speech. The whole point behind free speech is you have a competition of ideas, and that you can have a free amount of argument. I've had my fair share of arguments with religious people. I always say that the concept of whether it's astrology, Scientology, Buddhism, Christianity, Islam, whatever, is that those mystical concepts don't have a reference to reality. In other words, it's based on Plato's philosophy that you have an abstraction that all the particulars rain down from. It's kind of like Plato's form, and the forms that we encounter, I guess, are shadows, right? And that had to do with the improper understanding of what concepts are. There's a whole philosophic discussion on that, which I've talked about before, and I'll be happy to talk about again. But basically, the point is that you can't just ban people's speech because your regime is just going to be authoritarian. If you're an authoritarian, sure, you ban people's speech because it's not about whether or not they survive. It's about whether you as the tyrant survive. People require freedom because it's that freedom that allows them to live the way they need to live. When you're banning people's speech, I don't care whose speech it is, provided they're not violating the rights of other people, if they're not threatening people with it, they're not trying to fraud people with it, you're not killing the idea. You're driving it underground. You're going to make it more extreme potentially. And any thinking person like myself, like my audience, is going to see this and say that the UK government, among other governments like in Canada, in Germany, etc., China, another example, they cannot hold up to scrutiny. I don't care what the scrutiny is, they just can't hold up to it. So they need the censorship. So yes. Now, the article is alleging this is criminalizing Christianity, and although there's some truth to that, because that's what the law is aimed to do, it is criminalizing Christianity in a sense. It's criminalizing everybody, not just Christians, everybody. So we need that freedom of speech.